Okay, now let's take a look at what they do here. So they are going to use this sort that we just talked about. But how are they going to use it, or where are they going to use it? So what he's doing is he's writing his own subroutine here. So normally when we have sub here, it's because we have a button and we double-clicked on that button, and we get the button click handler subroutine that we fill in ourselves. But we're not doing that here. We're going to just write our own subroutine. So we did that at least one time before. We wrote our own subroutine. But now we're going to do something new, because before, when we wrote a subroutine, we didn't actually have any arguments in the subroutine. We just had it do something. So you can go back and check the example. It was in the lecture about functions and subroutines, when we first discussed functions and subroutines in one lecture. And we wrote an example of each, and in particular we wrote a subroutine. Remember, the difference between a function and a subroutine is what? Remember, they're very similar, but a function has an output and a subroutine doesn't. So this is a subroutine, so it doesn't have an output. And whereas before, our subroutine just had a bunch of stuff in here that it did, this time we're going to have an argument in our subroutine. You can see there's an argument here. We have the ByVal keyword, which I realized we haven't discussed yet. But anyway, it's there, so we'll have to talk about that later. But anyway, and then we have a variable as this type. So we've seen something like this before. We say we have a variable as type, but we've never seen it as type string with parentheses there. We've definitely seen it as type string, but we have never seen it as type string with parentheses. So this is different, and those little parentheses make a big difference. So as type string, yeah, we know what that means. It just means that temp is going to be of type string, and it's going to be in the subroutine. We can use this temp in various places to indicate what we're going to do with the argument in our subroutine. But this is different, a little different, because it's not as type string, it's as type string with these parentheses next to it, which actually means that temp is an array. So it's not just a single value, it's a whole array of values. So that's kind of confusing. But anyway, that's what temp is. Temp is going to be an array. So by the way, the name of this function, the name of this subroutine is sort and display. So we can guess that he's going to take an array and try and sort it and then display it. And he's actually going to build a subroutine to do that. So how do we do it? So temp is the name of whatever is the name of whatever is put into our subroutine. So we're going to take whatever is put in our subroutine, and what are we going to do to it? We're going to put it in the array.sort method. So what is it going to do to temp? Whatever temp is, it's going to sort it. Temp is going to be an array, and whatever array it's going to be, it's going to sort. This is going to sort that. And then what are we going to do after that? After temp has been sorted, then what? For each f as string in temp, remember we saw this for each statement before. So this means let this be the first element in the array temp, and then what are we going to do? Add it to our list box, and then keep doing that to the second element in temp and the third element in temp. So this function is going to do two things, and we can guess what it's going to do because of the name. Sort, first here, and then display here. Okay, so let's test it out.